So, let me move something here. Alright. Alright, had to move that out of the way. Okay. So, I'm on a bit of a time crunch here. So, instead of, like, doing something exciting, we're gonna do some, story time today. So, if you've been watching recently, I've made it pretty clear that I'm having, like, some troubles with my, employment. And not the, like, unique, oh, hey, I'm about to get fired kind of troubles. It's more along the lines of, there's some pesky paperwork that, hasn't been renewed yet, and if it doesn't get renewed within the next couple of days, I'll be out of a job. So, I'm a substitute teacher. And substitute teaching is a very, well, niche job. And it doesn't pay well. But it's consistent employment right now, when the economy is kind of in the tank. So, the problem is, in order to substitute teach, you have to have what's called a substitute teacher's license. Now, I, being an idiot, waited to the last minute to get this renewed, but, like, there's been no indication or anything that it's being renewed. Like, I have put in the money for it to be renewed, and it's kind of just sitting there, waiting for some person to review it and then click authorize, like, renewal or something. So this brings me to where I am today. I haven't pre-recorded anything. I am recording this the day this is gonna get posted on Monday the 2nd. And my sub-license actually expires in a couple hours. So as of tomorrow, I will technically be out of a job. Well, not technically. I have to get released by my employer. But I will technically be out of a job. So, yeah. Yeah, gonna lose my job here. So, obviously, that's not a good feeling. But, you know what? I have a bachelor's. I can go find a job elsewhere. If I need to find some other form of employment, I'll do that. So there is that. But this brings to mind a sort of interesting sort of situation here in the whole, like, teacher sphere. Because as somebody who's, like, who's worked in education and worked with kids for quite a long time, like, I've come to this realization that a lot of our problems would probably not exist if we had a more convenient way of solving our paperwork problems. Because most of my problems I've encountered in, like, working in education simply come from the fact that, we have to, deal with paperwork. And our paperwork problems seem to, like, follow us wherever we go. Because, I remember back when I was, like, working in childcare, because, before I worked, for the Boy Scouts of America, no, I first started working for the Boy Scouts of America, then my second job was working in childcare. Now, for childcare, you have to pass a lot of, a multitude of different background checks. The first one being, like, the basic one, where it's like, they look at your criminal record, they, like, see, oh, hey, has this person committed any crimes or anything? And obviously, that's a very important one, because you don't want criminals working around kids. So, there is that. But, following this, you actually have, like, a drug test. Now, I have only ever gotten, like, drug tested for a potential employment position twice. Which, honestly, you know what? It's not a big deal for me, because I have never touched any form of, like, illicit substance. But for some people, like, that is how they, like, don't get employment. Because, what a lot of people don't realize about, drugs and whatnot, is that stuff stays in your system for a long time. Which, honestly, is very concerning for a lot of people. Like, I never knew this going into, like, getting my first couple jobs. Like, I never knew that, there was an issue where where drugs actually stuck in people's system for quite some time. Now, keep in mind, like, I usually, like, think the best of people. So, it never really came to mind when I started working that, oh, hey, like, drugs stick around in people's system for quite some time. Like, drug tests could actually get people fired fairly easily. Which, it's an interesting thing, because I see the best in people, and I really don't, like, tend to think the worst of people. So let's go ahead and sleep here. But I'm, like, sitting here, like, for the past week, like, keeping an eye on this. Because I've worked the past couple of weeks because I was like, you know, if my sub-license doesn't get renewed, I'm gonna have to find some other form of employment. And if it doesn't get renewed within, like, the next week, I guess I'm gonna start filling out job applications. Because I can go a week or two without working, but more than that, and I have reason to be concerned. Because here's the thing, is, as somebody who's, like, worked several different jobs, like, one of the things you don't want on your, like, resume is a gap in your work history. Because having a gap in your work history is, like, something that makes the employer ask questions. When you want to get a job, you want to have, like, a spick and span reputation. You want to look as good as possible, so the employer looks at you and is like, yeah, I would hire this guy. This guy seems dependable. Now, obviously, I am not, like, perfect by any means. Because what a lot of people don't realize is, I am hireable, but I'm not perfect. Because, there is a difference. Because, like, no resume is without its flaws. Because, I actually, like, took a look at my old resume, and I'm realizing, like, oh, hey, this is hilariously out of date. Like, the last time I made a resume was back in, like... let me think here. 2019? No, it was 2020. Like, that was the last time I made a resume. Now, that was a long time ago by, like, work history-wise. So, obviously, like, looking at my resume, I need to redo it. So, this time around, I guess what's gonna have to happen is I'm going to have to look for another form of employment. Now, I don't think I'm gonna go into substitute teaching again. I think I'm gonna look for something temporary, because here's the thing: is I'm doing my master's with the intent of becoming a teacher. So, finding something temporary would be pretty convenient. Now, does that mean I'm gonna find something that's absolutely amazing? Probably not. My own experience with, like, job hunting has taught me that sometimes you can't be picky. Sometimes you just have to accept that you're not gonna find, like, that super desirable job. So, this brings me back to back when I was initially looking for jobs, back when I was younger. So, the first real job I got was, working for the Boy Scouts of America at a summer camp. Now, that's not a big deal. Sure, they run you through a background check and everything, but really, if you're a good person, you're a Boy Scout, you can probably find employment at a scout camp. Now, my second job, though, that's a different story. So, my second job, this was back in, like, 2017 or 2016. I'm fairly certain it was 2016. I started working for the YMCA. Now, the YMCA is not, like, absolutely terrible. But my own experiences with them have led me to never want to work with them again because of their shady practices. Namely the fact that I could call them out for several things they did and failed to do. Mainly the fact that, oh hey, they weren't, like, following their own policies and hiring enough people, but that's a different story entirely. But working for them was definitely an experience. But it was, like, the first official job I ever had. Now, my second job, I was back to working for the Boy Scouts of America, which wasn't so bad. I just really couldn't fit it into my schedule because, one, I had to share my car with my sister, and two, I was also in college at the time. So it made doing anything really difficult, which really sucked. Because, like, I would have loved to have kept working for him, but, like, my substitute teaching position that I got was more convenient for me. Now, substitute teaching, I have been substitute teaching for 3 years now. And when I started, it was, like, at the end of the school year. And, like, I actually subbed quite a bit up until the pandemic started. So, the pandemic starting actually caused me a lot of problems financially. So, in my local area, as soon as the pandemic started, pretty much all the schools just immediately shut down. And, like, the thing is there was actually a project for one of my classes I was doing at the time that actually immediately got affected by COVID because I was working with a school on that project, and lo and behold, the person who I was supposed to work with got COVID, so I had to find someone else to do the project for, which is an entirely different nightmare. But things like that happened, and like I couldn't even find another job during that time because, like, lo and behold, no one was hiring at the start of the pandemic. Now there's lots of people hiring. I just have to start applying. So there is that. But what I'll do this week is I will take some time to just go ahead and work on things that need to be worked on. I have several papers I want to get in. I have several tasks that I need to do, and things of that nature. So as soon as this gets cleared out, what we're going to end up doing here is we're actually going to put in, like, several different farms, like, all around here to, like, just get things going. Of course, I am going to need to, like, eliminate this, but I'll deal with that after I, like, put something here. So, to sum things up and, like, get through my ramblings, my current situation, job-wise, is not good. So, if I, like, stop uploading for a while, like, and throw my goal for the year of, like, getting 365 days of Minecraft videos up and going, well, that's unfortunate, but things outside of YouTube are ultimately more important than YouTube, so there is that. Because as much as I would like to reach my goal of having a video every single day this year, it's just not practical every single day in some cases. And I am just lighting this up because I know mobs are gonna spawn over here. But substitute teaching has honestly been one of the most important times in my life because it's taught me how to deal with kids. Like, it taught me how to be, like, the adult in the room. Like, it's different when you are the adult in the room. Like, as a kid, I never, like, thought about what it meant to be the adult in the room. And yes, I do realize there's, like, a ton of holes around here that I'm gonna need to fill in with dirt and things of that nature. But a lot of people don't seem to realize that being the adult in the room honestly sucks. It honestly does. But it's something you have to learn in order to, like, function as a person. And I just realized now that I'm getting, like, at least a double chest worth of cobblestone from doing this. Which is honestly something I'm gonna need. Like, honestly, flattening things out is kind of the way to go if you need to get cobblestones for some big projects. But I am not in a position where YouTube would be something I could ever do as a job. Which is unfortunate, but that's just the way things are. I mean, is. I mean, that's just the way things are at the moment. Ah. So, there is that. But getting this cleared out is definitely something on my to-do list for this week. So I have, like, a full to-do list for this week, and getting this cleared out and getting some more farms set up is on my to-do list. So at least once a month, my goal here is to have, like, 100 days a month of Minecraft. Now, whether I get that done on a consistent basis is an entirely different story. Because I am severely limited on time, and I will be, like, throughout most of this year. My whole job situation aside. So, clearing this out and making way for the farm is on our to-do list for this week. Now, I'll probably, like, end up putting down, like, jungle wood around here and, like, making, some docks similar to, like, what I got over here. Now, this whole, like, wooden thing was absolutely ridiculous. But I like it. It adds character.